Agora em estúdio junto comigo tem Roger Muller. Roger Muller é um scuba instructor e também tem o website lionfishdivers.com. Agora vou conversar com o Roger e vai que está que é um lionfish, que está fazendo nos água, né? Te conta-nos pouco mais de pescar aqui, que hope de nos conhecer, porque quizás não sabe todo detalhe disso aqui.
Lionfish is one of my favorite fish. I have a 200-gallon fish tank in my office at home. I have all different types of fish, damsels and like small fish and gobies. And if I ever took a lionfish, even if it's like this big, put it in my tank, it would eat every fish in the tank. They like live bait. They love small tropical fish. Lionfish eat baby shrimp. They eat lobsters. They eat crabs. 3 weeks ago I was diving and we ended up, one lionfish regurgitated a hermit crab, a giant, like one of the big hermit crabs. And the shells were like this big. And my friend's daughter was there that dove with us that was like 12 years old. And actually I just did a class in the Aruba school today. And she was in the class. And she gave me the answer. I'm like, how can a hermit crab, this big, giant hermit crab, be in the stomach of a lionfish? Anything that fits in their mouth, they'll eat. So the answer from Marley, who was in class today, was the hermit crabs change shells. So they're in this giant shell, so no one can eat them because they just pop back into the shell. And she said that when they get bigger, they switch shells. So while it was switching shells, the lionfish was probably just there hanging out and decided to eat it. I couldn't figure it out, so I had someone like 12 years old give me the answer on that.
Yes.
Actually, I thought it was really interesting, from Aruba. And her father's like one of the best lionfish hunters on the island too. That's Lucas Moorhead, great diver. And just amazing how that, kids seem to be really, really interested in lionfish and learning about that. And a lot of people, including adults, are scared of the lionfish because they have the 18 spines. So on the top of the fish, they have venomous spines. So you don't want to touch them. So if you see them in the water, you don't want to kick them or try to shoo them away with your hand because you might get stung. Lionfish are venomous, not poisonous. So the thing is, you don't have to worry about really dying. I don't think there's been any record of anybody ever dying from a sting from a lionfish. People that have gotten poisoned from like a frog or whatever, some people die from that, but not a lionfish. So I've been stung probably 5 times at different years, and this is since 2010. Very painful. The first time I got stung was 2015. I was in Panama, and the only thing that helps you when you do get stung is putting your hand in hot water, and it breaks down the venom. I was 3 hours out of Panama City. There was no hot water, so I had to wait 3 hours before I got it, and my finger was swollen from here down to my wrist. I couldn't even move it. I had my appendix taken out 2 years before. That was less painful than my first thing. But I think that the problem was mentally that I was worried. You don't know what's going to happen. You hear all these stories. People are telling you, oh, your throat's going to close up, this, that. In rare cases, things can happen, but it was fine. I also got stung in Aruba 2 times in 1 week. Once I was underwater and I was going upside down and my hand ended up in my zookeeper where you keep the fish, and one of the spines got me in the finger. I put in hot water. I got lucky, I guess a couple hours later it felt much better, and so it's better not to touch lionfish. But if you cut the spines off when you do get them, they're edible. They're great tasting fish, all white meat. People say they taste like snapper, maybe like mahi. Really, really good fish. And actually yesterday we speared 43 fish. We decided that I had my co-author, I have a book we just came out with, it got published on Amazon. What is a lionfish? So in the book it's a rhyme for kids. Vasily Karolevich helped me finish the book, and it's got really nice illustrations. There's things for kids, there's coloring pages, there's mazes, there's word search. At the end there's like questions and answers. So a lot of people ask me different questions like, can you eat a lionfish? Can they hurt you? Yeah, but it's not as dangerous as everybody thinks. When you're in the ocean, if you stay away from certain animals, they don't bother you. You don't bother them, they don't bother you. Lionfish won't chase people. If you go near them when you're underwater and you try to pick them up or whatever, their defense is they'll turn towards you with their spines and they keep everything away from it. So the big issue with lionfish, like in Aruba, is that they're invasive. There's no predators.
I wanted to ask,
Sharks
do they have natural enemies?
No enemies. Fish don't know what they are because they don't belong in the waters.
Okay.
So they look at them, they're really pretty, they have like fluffy like wings, and fish will just go hide under them and like play. They think it's a playground. And then you sit there and like
looks like Nemo.
Slurp up. Yeah, it's a bad Nemo. Yeah.
Nemo gone bad.
They'll slurp up wherever they can. They're very fast, you know, with like the suction when they eat. The problem.
Do they multiply fast? Because if I understood you well, is there an overpopulation of them?
In the Caribbean, there's a big overpopulation, and most people don't know about it because most people don't scuba dive. A lot of people don't even snorkel. Some people see them when they snorkel, but when you scuba dive is when you really, really see them. And Aruba is a lot better than a lot of other countries. I've been to 14 different countries hunting lionfish in the last 10 years, say. And I got back last April from Dominica, and the lionfish are like this big. Most of the lionfish are pretty small, but they're like this, and they just sit there and they do whatever they want to do. And I noticed on the reefs there, because I was there twice in the last year, that there's less fish every time I go back because there's no predator, and the sharks don't eat them. And the only time I've ever seen a lionfish get eaten is if they get speared. So if there's blood, then I've had in St. Croix a shark eat the lionfish off my spear. I've had in Aruba eels coming and grabbing the lionfish off the spears, but only when they're speared. If the lionfish is in the water, it's next to an eel, the eel will not touch them. Yesterday I was diving, and there was 3 lionfish around the eel, and it was kind of like an S. There was one there, my friend went underneath and got one. The eel ate the lionfish off his spear, and then I went above and caught one on top, took it out, put it in my zookeeper, and got it out. But better to stay away from eels if you're doing any kind of hunting, because any blood in the water, sharks, eels.
So the lionfish eat all kinds of seafood.
So the problem is lionfish are eating baby lobster, shrimp, crabs. The most important thing that is disappearing in Aruba is the tropical fish. So again, if their mouth is this big, anything that fits in, they'll eat. The old little baby, pretty tropical fish that everybody comes to see, which is really part of the Aruba economy, the people come here to scuba dive. They come here to snorkel. They come here to glass bottom boat.
Okay.
And if there's no fish to see,
nothing left to see.
Yeah, it's not good. So the other issue with the lionfish, if the lionfish eat all the small fish, there's not small fish for other big fish to eat that are native to the area. That's a problem. If the lionfish eat all the tropical fish off the reef, there's nothing to clean the reef. So the little fish go in and they'll take the algae off the reef to keep it clean. If there's no one to clean the reef, algae starts growing, the reef dies. So it's really important that, you know, there's different ways of helping remove lionfish. You know, one is scuba diving. There's free divers that also spear. Another way that really people can help is that they eat lionfish, and there's not a lot around Aruba and stuff like that. You know, the supply is a problem, but I think that if the restaurants started serving the lionfish once in a while as like a special, that people would say, wow, this just tastes better than most of the other fish that we have, and plus it's a really cool thing that. Have you ever eaten a lionfish?
Does it need any special preparation, or is it just like the other fish?
I've actually, on lionfishdivers.com, I have videos that I made in Roatan, Honduras. I went in the kitchen with a chef. You know, I cut the spines off and, you know, cleaned the stomach. And the guy, the chef, excuse me, made the fish in different ways. He fried one. They did a really pretty job. I was in the Ritz Hotel in Grand Caymans, 2017. I had the head chef and the sous chef of the Ritz in a cooking studio, which I have 3 videos online on YouTube, and also on the website lionfishdivers.com. They cooked it, made it 3 different ways. They made ceviche, and so a lot of people like to take lionfish and they just fillet it. And they get the skin off, and they just chop it up into little pieces, put it with lemon, It cooks the meat. Everybody knows probably ceviche in Aruba. And a lot of people like that. They put like pepper in, and green pepper and red pepper, and yellow pepper, whatever. And it's really pretty, and it's pretty quick to prepare actually.
Okay. Are they illegal? Okay.
Wait, I gotta tell you about my favorite. So I've been eating lionfish probably for the last 14 years, and heavy since 2013. And when I was away, I had to make a little video in Dominica. I had lionfish, for lunch I had coconut shrimp. So I said to the chef, I said, can you make coconut lionfish? The best. It was like great. Instead of just a regular fried, and like, if I bring lionfish home or whatever, or we're out and have a kitchen, my wife will batter it, and then she fries it. So it's kind of like plain, then you use it with tartar sauce. But the coconut lionfish was like amazing. And I don't like fish. So it's like one of my favorite fish. So I'll eat lionfish, maybe swordfish, tuna, but not really any other kind of fish. So it's strange that I really like the lionfish, and I think a lot of other people too, if they had access to trying it, they would be like, wow, this is great, something different, you know?
You talked about your website, lionfishdivers.com. You use it to educate people about lionfish, and you have already told us about the book you just published. What other messages do you want to share with the public?
The most recent project, I've had other booklets I've put out. I have been a reporter for Lionfish University. I included them in the last pamphlet that I put out. They're doing research all over the world, and the latest issues in the Mediterranean, and they work with all marine biologists and the head scientists of NOAA in the United States in Washington, D.C. And we're all kind of working together to try to figure out how we can help reduce the population of lionfish. Unfortunately, it seems like a losing cause. I had Alex Fogg, who's a very famous marine biologist from Destin, Florida. He was here a couple years ago diving with me, and in Pensacola, Florida, where he's from, they have like they have major tournaments every year at Emerald Coast. They're on a weekend, 11,000 lionfish are coming in, 11,000. So if they're in the Panhandle in the Gulf of America and they're floating down past Bahamas and they end in the Gulf Stream, that's how they're ending up down here. There's so many. And again, a lot of places the water's not clear, so you can't see they're there. And when they run out of a food source, they'll move to another reef. So they just keep on moving and moving, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger.
If they finish everything,
they'll move
in the
somewhere
region.
else. Yeah, and then they go a lot of days without eating. Their stomachs expand, so they can eat 50 fish a day. They, again, if they're eating the baby lobsters, what's going to happen in the restaurants when I want to order lobster thermidor in my favorite Aruban restaurant? Lionfish ate them all. So it's kind of like a serious thing. Again, most people do not understand about, or they don't think about the underwater environment. I think it's really important that even if someone doesn't dive or snorkel, whatever, that even to just educate themselves in what a lionfish is and why they're bad would help everybody. And then plus they're not scared. Today I did a class in the school. You don't name a school, but in Aruba. And it was a 5th grade class, and the kids at the beginning of class were very, very afraid. They're like, oh, I can, get hurt by a lionfish, which is true, but the thing is, then I explained to them about, you stay away from the spines, and it's proper way of preparing. So the person that's preparing the fish needs to
have some experience with that.
Yeah, so I'm using like a wire clipper now to take off the spines in the back. But the fins go this way, so if you kind of go this way, they fold down the other way. So it's not hard to clean once you know how to do it. On the website there is cleaning videos, and some people fillet, which is quicker. Okay. So you can do that. We used to do that. Save time, just don't even worry about cutting the spines off. My daughter Taylor was hunting with me 2 weeks ago, and we got 51 fish in 2 days, and I decided to let her clean lionfish. She cleaned and dissected and took pictures, and also she saved the tails and the fins for a woman in Aruba, Susan Heider, has been here a long time. She sells lionfish jewelry, and we save them for Susan so she can make earrings. And so other people are making a business out of
The lionfish.
The scuba shops are taking people out diving to just see them. They're really, again, underwater, beautiful fish. Unfortunately, they're part of nature, but it's a part of nature that doesn't belong in the water.